Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here. Welcome back. Farming Simulator 19 continues with the tutorials, and if you're anything like me, you need a little bit of work on certain things. We've already covered arable farming and crop protection in our series here on the tutorial. We're going to take a look at fertilizing now. Learn how to fertilize your fields and get the maximum yield. So if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and click or tap that like button to let me know you'd like to see more Farming Sim 19 on the channel. Get aggressive and show that wonderful support. Thank you, everyone. I bet we could get her up over 1,000 likes for every video on the channel for Farming Sim, of course, if you want to see more. And if you'd like to get this game, remember, it comes out on PC, Xbox, PS4, and also, I think, Mac, and yeah, Mac computers, too, on November 20th, 2018. So make sure you check it out wherever you get your games is where you can pick it up, and, of course, check for pricing there. All right, let's get to learning about fertilizing our fields to get the maximum yield. It should be a short and sweet tutorial, but we're going to cover them all. So we're heading back to Ravenport yet again. Fertilizing, we cover that in our... no, we're doing that now. New trees don't just pop up by themselves. Oh, I thought that was the tip below hand. Yes, we've learned a lot about how we can actually repopulate the trees if we cut them down. That's another thing we'll cover very soon in our forestry tutorial. But for now, let's fertilize. The most basic way to improve a crop yield is to apply fertilizer. There are many ways you can fertilize your fields using tools like manure spreaders, slurry tanks, and fertilizer spreaders. Manure and slurry come from your cows and pigs. Manufactured fertilizer solid or liquid can be bought in the shop. In this lesson, we'll give you access to every type of tool. Get in a tractor, attach the weight, and the tool you want to use. Oh, wonderful. So we kind of get to do our own adventure here. Well, we've got yet another John Deere to choose from. And we can see here there's the manure trailer, and here's our slurry trailer. And I'm assuming this is also, I don't know if this is filled or not. I can't, oh yeah, it's filled with the solid fertilizer. Well, I suppose we may as well give each one of them a try. I don't know if it'll let us do all three, but let's do a pass with each one of them. We'll grab our weight, I guess. And let's go ahead and grab the manure. Oh, look at the lights on this thing, too. Oh, man, that is wonderful. Looks like an alien spaceship. Oh, look at our guy. He's got sunglasses on and a nice hat. Very cool. All right, let's back her in and pick up our first little trailer here for our manure spreader. There we go, the FarmTech SuperFX 800. If necessary, make sure to unfold the tool, then turn it on and drive across the field to spread the fertilizer. Alright, I think this does need to be unfolded. Yep, so we've opened the back. And then those giant augers back there are essentially going to spread the manure while I believe the front piece pushes it back so that way it can be thrown all around. I don't know what the spread is on this piece of equipment, so we'll just kind of have to experiment and see how wide the swath is of the range. Oh, that's pretty good. Alright, we'll do one pass with this and we'll go back and grab the next one. Oh, that's pretty wide. Oh, this can go really fast. 12 miles an hour. That's turbo. There we go. All right, so that, of course, is how to spread manure. There we are. All right, let's head back. All right, we don't want to go so fast here on the farm. Let's keep her down to about 10. All right, so let's go and grab our slurry tank. Now, slurry is one I haven't had much of a chance to use before. I've always used manure on our farms and Farming Simulator, so perhaps, and usually solid fertilizer too, just because when you're starting out it's probably the easiest to do. We'll go ahead and park this next to the barn, pick it up later. And unfortunately in Farming Sim, it doesn't seem like you can actually go inside some of the barns. I believe this building here is placeable, but it would be nice if you could actually store some of your things in placeable buildings. Otherwise it's just kind of a waste to place a building down and then not actually use it. However, it is nice to be able to design. And that's something we'll cover very soon, too, in the game, is designing our own farm. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Well, let's go ahead and back her up and pick up our slurry tank now. And this, of course, is the Cot VE8000. And it essentially works the same way as the manure spreader, except it's just liquid. So let's go ahead and pull up here. And let's give that a shot. Ah, that's cool. It actually waves back and forth. Much harder to see where the edges of that is. Oh, there it is. You gotta kind of look behind you in the sun to see the shine. So you can see the differences on the field. I'm glad we actually have a little space between the two, so you can see what it's like if you haven't fertilized, what it's like if you've used manure, or what it's like if you've used slurry. That's kind of cool. I think the manure is very hard to see, in my opinion. but if you look closely, you can definitely tell the difference. All right, one more thing. Let's grab ourselves the solid fertilizer. And I think that just turns dark whenever you've actually fertilized with that. Man, that John Deere is something else. Beautiful waterfall off in the distance. How gorgeous in this game. How gorgeous. Well, let's park over here as well. I think fertilizing is probably going to be the fastest thing we can do in the game. So I'm glad we got 3 different options to do it. So yeah, the slurry can actually be picked up from the... Actually, I wonder if they let us open. Oh, darn. Vehicle shop is only accessible during the career. So I believe in this game, well, I know for certain that you can actually place down paddocks for your cows and your pigs. So wherever you happen to place them down is wherever you'll pick up the manure or the either the slurry or the manure. And solid pallet like this, or pellets, sorry, can be purchased at the store. Let's actually do this first person and back this thing up. There we go. The Bridal K105. And actually, another thing too is that I love this, how when you select an item, the chocks actually pull out and it won't move if you actually have the trailer sitting there. So if you happen to, I don't know, park on like a little bit of an incline with the vehicle and you disconnect, the chocks will just go underneath and it won't move. Well, let's start on the farther left side now. I think this one has a very big range. Look at how, ooh, look at that. All right, this doesn't have to be unfolded. So let's go ahead and start here. And I think we're going to do like 5 miles an hour on this one. Let's see how quickly we can do it. Oh yeah, that's got a huge range. So that's one of the best things about the solid fertilizer. Look at that. It actually is covering half the field. The middle of the field. With this one, 2 passes. However, it's very expensive for this type of fertilizer. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind is that essentially manure and slurry are free because you're producing it when you're feeding the cattle and the pigs. But the devices in order to fertilize with those are a little different. Very good. You've improved the yield of the crop. Now we're going to look at using another way to improve your yield catch crops. The tractor is still driving. I have no control over it, so that's interesting to see it go. Developers might want to have the vehicle come to a stop just to make it not look goofy. Oilseed radish is a catch crop. It's a fast-growing crop you plant before the crop you intend to harvest. Once the radishes have started growing, you need to break and burrow them into the ground with the cultivator. This destroys them but adds a lot of organic matter and nutrients to the soil. Try it. Go to your tractor, attach the weight cultivator, and cultivate the field as you do usually. Oh, interesting. So, unfortunately, they didn't show us this, so this is something I do remember from other farming sim games, is that, yes, if you put the oilseed radish down and then basically just cultivate over it, it'll destroy this crop, which is kind of worthless aside from actually making the soil a lot more fertile. And in fact, I wonder if we go over this. Oh yeah, actually it says you need lime too. That'd be another cool thing for them to show us. I wonder if actually we get to do that in the fertilization process. Let's give that a try then. Oh yes, a Steyr 6300. I love these looking tractors like this. I love the looks of these are just awesome. Let's grab the weight, and then we'll grab the Porsche Tiger 6 DT. That's a big boy right there. And let's go ahead and unfold. That's a nice one. That's a very good cultivator right there. All right, let's go ahead and roll up. And let's drop. No, very easy. So there's no difference at all on the field as to how it looks to know that there's oilseed radish in there. It still looks like a standard cultivated field. Actually, the soil might be darker, but just by first glance, you might not be able to tell. But I'm curious, if we get out of the tractor, I just want to know, if we look at it, if it says anything about fertilization. Oh, yeah, look at that. You can actually see that it says 38, 42, 45. That's very cool. So there is actually a... It actually does show you that it is fertilized that way. It does count as a type of fertilization, or at least at the initial crop. You'll still have to probably come back later in the process and fertilize again. Well, since this is a tutorial, we don't have to be perfect, so let's just get the job done here. But oilseed is a really good way of doing that. It just takes an extra step. Probably better for smaller fields because the yield is already going to be smaller, so doing multiple steps on a small field is a little bit more feasible than doing it on a big one, unless you got big buds. There you go, another way to fertilize soil organically. Yes, indeed. Well done. You learned how to increase the yield in organic manufactured synthetic fertilizer and learned about catch crops. In the next lesson, you'll learn how to take good care of your fields. All right. Well, here we are for yet another tutorial in Farming Sim 19. I'm surprised I haven't said 17 yet, but I learned how to give your soil the best, give your fields the best soil for growing crops. All right, we're going to take a look at that next in Farming Sim 19 in our tutorial series. We only have 3 more to do, and then we're going to go on to doing things such as building our farm and doing multiplayer farms, logging and hauling and trucking and doing so much more in Farming Sim 19. So again, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and click or tap that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're new here, and say wow down below in that comment section if you're amazed by this game. I am too. Remember, November 20th, 2018, it comes out on PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Make sure you pick it up wherever you buy your games. I will see you all very soon, so thank you very much for your kind tips, your support, and saying wow down there. You guys are great. So thanks as always for your support. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.